Well, it's getting a little dark out, but I got a question from the Dutchman. What's ladder line? That's ladder line. Looks like a ladder. Goes all the way up to my dipole. And it comes over here. This is just a little strain relief so it doesn't pull on this connection here. Just a little static arrestor, lightning arrestor. And that goes into my house. So here we are in the radio room. I'm up on a ladder, and this is my equipment rack. So this is about 6 feet up, probably a little taller because this is a little over my head. My ladder line comes inside. Ladder line does have a few restrictions. You don't want to run it you don't want it laying on top of metal, but there it is right there, ladder line. And well, I know this really doesn't apply to CB radio, but I got a question on it. I like to build things. I like to build things with crap I got laying around. So this is my homemade antenna tuner that will handle what they say on AM radio, full legal limit and then some. And I just made it out of some countertop material that I had, and vacuum cap I found at a Hamfest for like $20. And this is commonly referred to as 600 ohm open wire line, sometimes ladder line. So this will tune 50 ohm into my radio, and I put it up here because it's all open. That way, less likely someone's gonna get their fingers in it while I'm transmitting. But it's a big ass tuner, and it'll tune a wet noodle, and I can throw all kinds of watts into it. So the next question is, Radio Man, how do you make open wire line? Like I said, this is, I am an amateur radio operator, but my channel is focused on CB radio. Open wire line really isn't practical for CB radio. Shortwave, yeah, I do use this antenna for shortwave. So my dipole is 260 feet long, and it's a flat top dipole. And this ladder line right here, as you can see, just goes up to the dipole and it tees off. No ballon. There is a ballon at the tuner, just a 1-to-1 common mode. So this is what you need to make open wire line. What I suggest, you set up in an area, and let's say you want to make 100 feet of it. Set up a jig, something that's sturdy and is going to move, and get yourself a roll of THHN from Home Despot. And you want to make sure that it is equal. If you're going to make 100 feet, you want each leg of your wire to be 100 feet. So what I did was I set up like a jig that was kind of like sturdy in my basement, and I stretched out so that it was taut, 25 feet. And about every foot, I made a jig out of like a little piece of scrap wood. I put this in between it, and then I put a tie wrap through each side and captured the wire. That's it. And I did that. Oh, tool bag fell over. So these are just fence tube insulators, 4-inch fence tube insulators from Tractor Supply. I mean, I bought so many of them. They're dirt cheap. You can probably get them from other places. So you make 100 feet of it, and that's it. What is the advantage of open wire line? Well, the advantage of open wire line is that when guys are using tuners with coax, everything's all hunky-dory at the radio, but you still have a mismatch going out to the antenna. And the issue is that there's still a bad SWR there, and that equates to loss. Coax does not handle an SWR mismatch very well. Open wire line is virtually lossless. So you could have an SWR that is virtually infinity. And if you can somehow manage to get 100 watts up to the antenna, you're going to get 100 watts up to the antenna with a mismatch. And this stuff is lossless, virtually lossless. That is the advantage of open wire line. Now, if you were an SWL, shortwave listener, you could use the tuner, or like my radio has what's called a high Z input. You just feed each leg into the receiver input. And it's virtually, I tune up on any band I want. It's really the best antenna for multi-band operation. It blows the pants off these G5 RVs and all these other things. There's no bowling. It's the simplest form of an antenna, and this is all you need to make it. I made up 100 feet. You can buy this stuff too. There are guys that sell open wireline, but you don't want that little crappy stuff that's like, right, you know, my stuff's 4 inches of separation. That's the good stuff right there. You don't have to use this stuff, but these were cheap. So anyways, hope that answers your question, Dutchman. You know, what is open wireline? That's open wireline. It's great for multi-band antennas, and you can use it for shortwave. Not really practical for CB, but you asked, so I thought I'd answer.